So, Marshall,
Yes, Yanni.
how do you like hamburgers?
I like it very much. I love them, Yanni. Hamburgers are the light of my life. They are my only love.
Yeah, I love hamburgers too. You ever wonder where the meat comes from, though?
Maybe. A little bit. Or I could know already.
Really? You
Yeah.
know? Where do they come from?
You see, beef comes from cows.
Oh. How do you think cows are doing to the environment?
Well,
Because they produce a lot of methane gas, you know.
they do, and that harms the environment. But, I'm more worried about how they're treated.
How so?
Well, cow farming, a lot of the times, takes place in small dirt pens, and the cows are crowded, and they have to have their horns cut off so they don't injure each other, and it's terrible. It's really unethical. It's terrible for the
It's
cows.
terrible. So it's terrible for the cows and the environment. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's what I am trying
That's
to tell
terrible.
you.
Is there another way?
You know, I think there is.
Oh?
There's something I looked up on the interwebs called meat. Lab grown meat.
Lab-grown meat?
Yeah,
Is that meat grown in a lab or something?
that is right in all the lab places.
Do you know exactly how meat is grown in the lab?
Well, you have to take some cells from the cow, and they're muscle cells. Anyways, you grow them, and if you have enough, and they're in a certain formation, they make meat.
That's interesting. It sounds like we still need to do some research.
We do.
You know
we
who?
still
You,
do
you know,
need to do research.
you know who likes meat?
Lime.
Lime.
Lime does.
Lime does. He does like meat.
Lime
I
loves
bet you.
meat.
I bet you he knows about stem cells.
I bet you
well.
he does. You know how many times I've seen lime with meat?
How many times?
Too many. Too many. It's unhealthy.
That's classic lime.
It's
right
a
there.
unhealthy obsession with meat. But you know, I don't judge. It's fine.
I think we should do some research,
We should.
and then we should confront Lime too, and we should bring him into this mix.
When a boy loves meat like that, we have to get him in on something like this.
That's right. I say, let's do some research, don't you?
I do.
Luckily, we're in a car already.
Yeah.
You want to head down to the lib?
Yeah, we can head down to the lib.
That's right.
Let's go.
Let's go. So here we are driving to the library. We're about to do some research.
All the research.
All the
For
research. That's good. And maybe, who knows, maybe we can even prepare some. You know, I heard that Roosevelt School. Hold up. Did you know? I heard that Roosevelt School had a biotech lab.
Really?
Really, really.
Wow. That's amazing.
I know.
They have that.
Yeah. Well,
That's a thing.
You want to try to make some? Because, I mean, you know, it's easy to get stuff from cows, some samples from cows. You want to actually try to make some meat?
Let's do it. Let's make some.
Nice.
Some high quality meat.
High
Red
quality
meat.
meat. That'll be good. Because if this thing's work, not only can we save the environment, but we can also save punishment to cows, too.
We can.
It's the best of both worlds.
all the worlds.
That's right.
Because there's two.
Hey guys.
Hey. So, Lime, do you know anything about lab-grown meat?
Meat? I heard meat. Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
Can I get in on this? Well, let me look at the facts. Here we go. In vitro meat is meat cultured from cells. The starting cells are taken from a cow with a painless biopsy. Fully matured muscle cells cannot divide very fast because they lack the required components. They are meant to contract and provide structure. but not multiply and divide. This makes growing fully mature muscle cells as a culture problem. They are strong, but cannot multiply at any economical speed. Stem cells, however, can multiply very fast and are easy to take care of. They can be grown in large quantities and stored for further use. They are not as close to muscle tissue as we would want. When prompting stem cells to grow into muscle cells, there's a very specific process that must be undertaken, and even then many cells do not transform successfully. There is, however, a middle ground that is reachable: myoblast cells.
Wait, what's myoblasts?
Myoblasts is, it's the stem cells that have not yet developed fully into muscle cells, but they have more muscle cells than regular stem cells or induced pluripotent cells.
So it's like in between a stem cell and a muscle cell.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and let's see here. Myoblast cells are often used to create the in vitro meat because they solve the problems presented by the other cell types.
So is there anything else we need to know?
Of course, adult stem cells are the favorite cell to use in this field. Their in vitro proliferation capacity is not unlimited and can pulverate in vitro for several months at most. But they are easy to obtain because scientists do not need to obtain them from a fetus, and they are plentiful in large adult animals compared to small animal fetuses. One way to grow meat is by creating an edible porous polymer by which nutrients will diffuse with myoblasts and other cell types. In this way, you can make a block of gel and run a solution through it that contains nutrients and cells. If you let this polymer soak in the solution, the cells will attach to the block and start to grow. They can then remove the block after the cells have situated themselves, and as long as they get the correct amount of nutrients, you can grow a block of meat. The advantage of this system is that you can integrate a number of different cell types into the block to obtain a more natural taste and structure in the meat.
Good. Should we actually do this, guys?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Let's get to work.
Looks good. Hey guys, did you know Ayuk died?
You did?
So sad.
We got the
Oh,
meat.
you did it. We finally did it.
And
Finally did it. I think it turned out pretty good.
It
as
did.
a memory, this is for you.
This.
Good job on the meat. Now you remember what I taught you?
Sure. Let me pull up the facts. So an actual slab of meat is made up of more than just multinucleated syncytia or fully mature myoblasts. You also need to include fibroblasts for connective tissue and fat cells. To make matters harder, not only do you need to include these cells in the proper quantity and ratios, but they need to be arranged into the proper 3D structure so that the texture of the meat is the same. Now, when culturing cells for meat production, there are two main ways for cells to be successfully cultured. Because of the way muscle cells grow, they need to be scaffolded to attach to one another. So one method uses scaffold spheres, and the other uses a mesh. When using the method of a collagen spheres, the spheres are inoculated with cells and put into a bioreactor. The cells are allowed to attach to the scaffold spheres and grow. The other method uses a scaffold and reassembles a mesh or a sponge. The scaffold will have a culture medium percolated through it. The culture medium would contain cells, and the cells would attach to the mesh scaffold and grow off of the nutrients. Also, the meat produced from these methods will not be structured like normal muscle tissue, but can still be in ground meat products. One One difficulty for growing cells for consumption is deciding if the cells are going to be grown on the edible scaffold or the non-edible scaffold. Obviously, you can see here, we grew our meat for the edible scaffold.
Mm-hmm. Proud of you.
Thank you.
One of the benefits that we found out from this, besides being a more ethical way to raise meat, is the meat is also very sterile. It's kept in lab conditions. There's no dirt, there's no fecal matter, there's no chance for mad cow disease. It's a pretty good environment to grow meat.
I think we did it, guys. Proud of you.